What's up, y'all? Hope all is well. Welcome back to another episode of the Women Behind the Courage Couture Gala. I'm super excited to introduce this woman to you. First of all, she's a friend, she's a sis, she was my business coach. So if you ever wondered how I learned how to make all the money, she's the reason why I learned how to make all the money. Okay. And now she's the MC of the Courage Couture Gala. So I got my girl Precious S. Brown in the building. How are you, girl?
I am well. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me on tonight.
Listen, I'm excited that you are here. So please tell the people about yourself.
So, I am Precious S. Brown. I am the founder and owner of Harmony Building Solutions, where I help mental health providers start their business and bring balance to their billing so that they can focus on their patients.
Come
I
on.
also help them write life changing books, whether it's their story or a specific type of uh, process that they want to teach people how to go through.
Come on. Listen, because the
Yes,
mental health providers need help with the billing department. I'm just,
yes, honey.
so
Yes, they do.
I know they're keeping you busy. So to kick off this conversation, I have to ask you, what made you say yes to being the MC to the first Courage Couture Gala? Like, what was it?
Well, one, I believe in your vision. Well, no, I'm gonna tell the truth. Number one is because you asked me. And you know I'll do anything I can to support you, but I really believe in the vision, and I understand wholeheartedly through experience how important this movement is. Right? It's
Yeah.
not just a gala; it is going to be a movement. And the Save Me Foundation is spearheading something great. Not many times can we come together
Yeah.
to lift up those that have been victimized
Mm-hmm.
and give them the hope that they can thrive, right?
Yeah.
You don't see that a lot in these internet streets. So when you asked, I was like, it was a no-brainer. I don't even think I checked my calendar. I didn't hesitate. I was like, yep, when is it?
Yeah.
And because it's near and dear to my heart, right?
Yeah.
Wishing I had that kind of support, wishing I had just other women around me that could understand what I was going through and not feel judged.
Yeah.
And I think that this event is going to position people to start having those conversations, right?
Yeah.
To really start healing. We talk about healing a lot, and I don't think we go deep enough um, to deal with the trauma. Right, we
Mm-hmm.
do surface level trauma, not
Yeah.
understanding that being a victim of SA
Yeah.
is a lifelong journey, right?
Lifelong. Yes.
And so those are the reasons I said yes.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. I think when God told me to do this thing, first and foremost, I was like, who, what, you know how I go when Jesus tells you to do something.
Me?
Right. It was like me, and then it was like, so who paying for it? Because my bankroll and your bankroll, two different bankrolls. You know what I mean?
That
Like,
part.
who gonna cover the cost? But when I really started to like be obedient and think about it, it was really for me, it's creating something I never got. So like I
Mhm.
never had the community. I didn't have people that believed me. Even the police didn't believe me. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
like I know what it's like to be in those victim spaces and be like, I'm in this by myself. And so for me, it was like, I need to create a space, a safe space where people can feel seen, especially Black and Brown survivors, because our stories don't get told. So
Mhm.
I really wanted that night and this night to be about how do I make sure that you at least feel seen for one night, you feel heard for one night, you walk away building community for one night. Like it is my hope that everybody that comes leaves connected to somebody. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So that you don't go through this by yourself. So I agree with you on that. So as an MC, you are like the person that's gonna keep this thing going. You're gonna set the tone, set the energy. How important is it to prepare when someone asks you to MC their event?
I have been preparing since you asked. I consult with God daily about
Mhm.
what he's going to have me do in October,
Yeah.
right? This isn't a let me wake up and I'm gonna just show up. I take emceeing seriously
Yeah.
because I know that my voice is landing on ears
Mhm.
that and I'm planting seed,
Yeah.
right? So I consult God every single day. I was down in my basement sweeping this rug. I'm doing some changes, and it was just another time that I was like, okay, God, the event flashed before my eyes. I'm like, well, what is it that you want um me to share with them?
Yeah.
Um and as a result, I had a triggering moment, right?
Mm.
A few days ago, and I had to ask him, okay, how what do you want me to deal with? Because I
Yeah.
can't get on the stage bleeding,
Yeah.
right?
That's
I
good.
have to come in whole because
Mhm.
somebody else is there that is broken that needs what I have, and I can't give it to them if I'm not whole. So he
Yeah.
made me deal with the SA just
Yeah.
here recently, and I thought it was all over. I thought I was all good, and it was like, nope, still got some residue. Let's deal with that. So I say preparing is the most important part. Not you showing up,
Yeah.
not who's in the audience, not what you're gonna say, but preparing spiritually because this is
Mhm.
a heavy lift, right?
Yeah.
This is heavy. It. I'm gonna make it not heavy, but it's a heavy topic, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We gonna have some fun. We gonna laugh. We gonna joke. We gonna cry,
Yeah.
and we gonna leave with more sisters than we came with, right?
Yep.
And I'm saying sisters. It don't matter the color of skin. Us as women, we're sisters.
Yeah.
So I believe any MC should, from the time that they accept, they seek counsel, seek wise counsel
Yes.
on what it is that you're to deliver, because this ain't about you being seen. It's not about me being seen, right?
Yeah.
It's about me being able to allow the spirit to flow through the event. So everybody that's in a chair or against the wall, because we're gonna be wall to wall packed in Jesus' name,
Okay.
um, it is for them to receive whatever they came from,
Yeah.
right? Because God can't operate in chaos.
Come on.
So my job, my position is to keep the flow. And as
Mhm.
long as the flow is kept, everything that's supposed to happen is gonna happen.
Yeah. I love that you said that from the moment you said yes, you started preparing because I think people don't realize you should be preparing. Like, I
Hmm.
too, as the visionary, have been laying before God, like, all right, you know what visionary address, you know what I need to
Hmm.
say. Like, I know certain things, but you know what needs to land on the hearts of the people that's going to be in that room. And so I 1,000% agree that preparation should start before you enter into the room, before
Hmm.
you grab the mic. You should be laying before God, especially if you kingdom. Now, if you're not kingdom, we're not talking about you. But if you really got to walk with God, you really should be seeking him out. Like,
Absolutely.
what we doing? You know, because I tell him every day, this your event, sir. Like, you just let me be the, the face of it, but this your event. Like,
Hmm.
you know everybody that's going to be in that room. You know every survivor that's traveling near and far. You know. So
Hmm.
I need you to guide me on what does the experience need to look like? What is the energy? What is the flow? And I just knew when I was thinking of an MC and he dropped you in my spirit, I said, oh, perfect person. Like,
Oh,
hands
thank
down,
you, Jesus.
perfect person to really usher us in because as you've said to me offline, like, oh, this is spiritual. Like,
Yeah.
it's bigger than what you even think it is
Hmm.
because people are coming in that room and they're going to be looking for hope. They're going to be looking
Hmm.
for an ounce of healing. They're going to be looking for connection. And God is just happening to use a gala for those things to happen.
Absolutely. And it's only the start. This is the start off. This is the kickoff.
Yeah.
The you accepting the call is what was most important,
Yeah.
right? Everything else is it will fall in line. Some things won't get done. Some things will get done. Some things maybe have to be moved around in the process of us putting on the event. But what I know to be true is that God is going to be in the room.
Yeah.
He is already talking to those that have bought tickets. He talking to the ones that's thinking about buying tickets. He talking to the ones that don't even know about the event yet, right?
Yeah.
He knows what they're looking for. And only he knows what is going to transpire in that room, and we just have to be open to it. And I am open to however he want to use me in
Yeah.
whatever capacity, right? So yeah, I think it is going to be absolutely amazing. I think
A
it's going
thousand
to be
percent.
healing for a lot of people. And I love the fact that we'll have support in the room for
Yeah.
those that are triggered,
1,000%.
because
I
it being triggered is not everybody is in the same space to be able to say, okay, God, what is it that you're trying to show me? What do I need to do?
yeah.
Some may just need somebody to hold them up, right?
Yeah.
Just hold me up. And I think that everything will align the way that it's supposed to for that to happen.
Yeah, 1,000%. I knew for me, I practice what I preach, and I always tell people that I've trained that re-traumatization should never happen. So for
Hmm.
me, I wasn't going to do this event if I didn't have licensed therapists in the room. Like it
Hmm.
just wasn't going
Hmm.
to happen. I wasn't going to do this event if the venue didn't have a safe space that I could turn into some type of room if someone needs to go and get themselves together. Like it just
Hmm.
wasn't going to happen because sexual violence is a heavy topic and everybody's not at that place of healing. Some people have blocked it out that may enter
Hmm.
in that room and hear something, you know, and all of a sudden it comes back up. That's why we were very intentional about everybody we picked, including our panelists, because I wanted to make sure they were ready to tell their story, but also making sure there were parameters around that. Like, hey,
Hmm.
we don't need the gritty details.
Right.
like,
Right.
because I refuse to let anybody be re-traumatized on my dime. Like it's not gonna happen. So
Hmm.
survivor support was exactly what needed to happen. I knew I needed to have myself and two other therapists in the room. Our keynote is a therapist, so we're gonna have plenty of therapists that are gonna be in the room. That if you
Absolutely.
just need that moment, there's gonna be a whole QR code, scan it, survivor anonymous form that's coming directly to our phones. Everybody on the team going, no, okay, let's get somebody some help. So like
Hmm.
that was
I love that.
extremely important for me because
I love that.
I've been in spaces where for me, I'm a little bit more healed than a lot of the places people that spaces I've been in. And I've been like, so y'all just not gonna
Yeah.
notice that the person over there in the corner about to lose
Yeah.
their like
Uh, because it with sexual violence, you really have to be careful with opening people up.
yep.
Because one, it takes a lot to discuss it.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm in this room, and part of me is saying, am I the only one?
Yep.
And are these really survivors?
Yep.
Or are they just looking at me? Or we have our brain does this thing that
Mm-hmm.
all on its own. Even if you try to stop it, it's gonna
Right.
go over there, thinking something
Yeah.
good, bad, or indifferent. So I think that um one of the keys to making this event a success was definitely having them on staff, having them ready to therapize as
Mm-hmm.
needed, right? And I just love that the women said yes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they could have been like, nah, are you paying me for that?
Yeah.
Um, or a whole bunch of different other things. I just think that it's so important that we start dealing with this, because not only women deal with it, right?
Yeah.
There are men out there that have been violated. And I like to think of myself as a thriver, because for so many years I allowed it to hold me back.
Yeah.
because it was something I did. It was something I said, something I wore that made this thing happen. Instead of saying, no, I didn't invite this to
Yeah.
me. Um, this person was, not in their right mind. And they took advantage of a situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that those of you that attend, and I'm talking to y'all out there, those of you that attend, you will get what you need. Everything you
Yeah.
need is going to be in the room.
1,000%. And I think that's one of the reasons why, for me, I always tell people I'm not a preventionist because we have prevention conversations with wrong people. Right. We tell
Mhm.
victims and survivors that they should have did something to prevent the violence. And I'm like, they couldn't have. It was nothing they said, did, wore, nothing that would have prevented it from happening. And that's why I preach it all the time. Stop talking to victims and survivors about prevention. You should be talking to perpetrators, those who have the ability to actually cause violence, right? That's who you should be talking to because they're the ones that can stop it, not us. And so I believe that that night is just going to be absolutely powerful. I was telling somebody on the team, I was like, I need waterproof makeup because I know I'm going to be boohoo crying.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
don't.
I thought about the same thing, child. I'm like, ooh, I got to see who gonna do my makeup.
Right. Because I know that we're gonna be in there crying. So yeah. So I gotta ask you about hope because I think that's one of the things that I want people to walk away with is hope.
Mhm.
So how important is hope and that feeling of hope on the night of that event from the beginning to the end?
It is one of the most important things that will be there
Yeah.
is hope. Because after sexual violence, years after, you still
Mm-hmm.
have a feeling of hopelessness,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, I'm never going to get over this. That's
Yep.
not true, right? It's just you haven't been put in the position or haven't opened yourself up enough to begin to heal from it because we don't want to feel that pain. I don't want to remember what happened. I don't want to feel like I did that night. I don't,
Yeah.
you know, a smell can trigger me,
Yep.
right? Like, ugh. And then so coming into it and understanding that hope is your lifeline. If
Yeah.
you just hold on to, and I'm gonna say the table, the person next to you,
Yeah. Yeah.
you can glean from their energy, from their strength. And it okay, I can, and hope looks like I can make it one more day.
Yeah.
I can make it the next hour. I
Mm-hmm.
can make it the next minute. And prayerfully nobody has to feel the need to remove themselves, right? Because of that feeling of I just can't, and it's okay if you do. But my question would then be, are you ready to heal, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes um one of the things I realized for me is that part of it I was holding on to it like a badge of honor.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is I could always go back to I did this because of this,
Yep.
right? Instead of saying, okay, that happened. It was a part of my experience. How can I use that so I can shift?
Yep.
How can I use that so I can save another woman, another girl from going through it? And hope does that, right? When you begin to see, one, I'm not alone, two, I can make it through this, three, that didn't define me, right?
Yeah.
Four, I didn't do anything wrong. um then you begin to walk in that momentum of I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be all right. So I think hope is one of the greatest assets that will be in the room.
1,000% sure. And it's funny because one of the things I always teach is the pipeline of going from victim to survivor to thriver. Like hope
Mhm.
is how you move the needle out of victimhood
Mhm.
into surviving it, right? And then getting some more hope and realizing, oh, wait, I can not only survive, I can make it on the other side, thrive, and have life
Mhm.
after it, right? Because I think most people don't realize there really is life after sexual violence. Like you can love again, you can trust again, you can do all of it, but it starts with hope and
Mhm.
not giving up on hope. Like, yes, right in the midst of it, it is like the hardest thing to go through. Like it is the darkest thing to go through. I tell people all the time, I tried to drink it away, sex it away. I tried to do all of it because I just didn't want to feel. I just
Mhm.
didn't want to be. It was just like the worst thing that could happen to me. But once I got that glimmer of hope, it was like, all right, like this ain't the end. Like, and I'm so grateful because I'm like, if can I imagine if I would have gave up, this wouldn't even exist. If I would have
Mhm.
gave up at the point of just being a victim, not realizing that there was so much more to the story. So I agree with you on hope. So I got to ask you, because you on the team, it's so many things we got planning behind the scenes that the people don't even know about. What are you the most excited about? Like, what is it that you're like, I cannot wait to see this? What is it?
I cannot wait to see the women in the room.
Mm,
I cannot wait to see the smiles, hear the stories,
yeah,
share, right? And just really I can't wait to hug people.
yeah, yeah,
It's something about a good old mama hug. It's something
right,
about a good old mama hug. And I believe I am a mama in various ways, right? Not
yeah,
only do I have my children, but helping others, I'm a mama in that space.
yeah,
And
yeah,
if I don't know about y'all, but one of the things that I didn't care what was going on in my life, if I could just lay up under my mama, all
yeah.
was good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So being that person that can um support another woman
Yeah,
that may feel like um this defined who I was. This defined all of the decisions I made. And
yeah,
truth be told, a lot of our decisions are derived from that pain place.
yeah,
Um, but letting them know that this isn't the end. This is only the beginning, honey, and it can be whatever you choose for it to be. Going back to, like you said, if I had stayed in victimhood, right,
mm-hmm.
I would have kept doing those same actions I
Same
did
things.
from 16 to 36. That's 20 years, y'all. Right, 16 to 36. I was a part of behaviors to
Mm-hmm.
cope, right?
Yep.
Doing drugs, drinking, all the things. And because I didn't want to feel just like you. I didn't want to feel, I didn't want to remember. It's better if I just act like it didn't happen.
Yep.
But
Mm-hmm.
then I didn't even realize I passed that trauma on.
Mm.
And so this night is more so about stopping the trauma bonds,
Yeah.
stopping the lineage or the generational pass on from your pain. Now your children have that pain in some because it manifested with my daughter, right? She went through some of the same similar things, the very things I was trying to keep her from.
Yeah.
And I attribute that to because I didn't deal with mine, right? So when she was going through, I didn't even identify what was
Yeah.
happening because I wasn't healed from my own. And
Mm-hmm.
once that took place, it was like, oh no, we got to stop this because now I have grandchildren, I have granddaughters, right? And I want to be able to see if there's a shift in their behavior, if
Yeah.
there is a you know they stop wanting to do things
Mm-hmm.
because those are all signs something's wrong.
Yeah.
It's not all she just that's how she no, that is not how she was.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
is going on. Let's tap into that. What's going on? And it not even having to be me that solved the problem, but getting them the help that they need, right? Talking to
Yeah.
somebody. That's why therapists are on deck. Because it starts at the gala, but this is going to be a life transforming journey.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 1,000%. When you was talking about that, I thought about my mom. God rest her soul. Her life ended at 58 because she never dealt with what happened to her when she was 16. You know,
Mhm.
she just kept doing drugs, kept abusing her body. And I remember our conversation and me telling her what happened to me, and she just broke down crying like, I wanted to protect my daughters from that. I never wanted you to experience what I experienced. So that transference, that intergenerational is
Mhm.
real
Mhm.
because it happened to her. She never dealt with it, and then it happened to me. You know, and I remember her just being like, I just wanted to protect you. And I was like, Mama, who protected you? Because nobody protected you. So you couldn't really give me what you was looking for someone to give you, right? And so it is real how it passes down if you don't nip that thing in the bud. And so I 1,000% agree. I'm looking forward to just connecting with people. I've had women all over DMing me, survivors all over, traveling from, I mean, I was counting it the other day. We got 11 states of people
Mhm.
coming to this event that heard me on TikTok, saw an Instagram post, and was just like, "Oh, I gotta be here," and it's just been blowing my mind because I'm like, Jesus, I don't even know folk in Colorado, but clearly I know people in Colorado now,
You will know them by the end of the night, honey.
right? So it's just been blowing my mind of just the links and the reach that this event
Mhm.
is getting. So yeah. So as we wrap up, I want to ask you, for someone who may be watching this and they're just like on the fence, they're like, I don't know if I should be in the room. What do you say to that person?
Seek God. Seek, and for those of you like, I don't talk to God, or whoever your higher power is.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in the Son, Father, Holy Spirit, and that with fire, honey. But
Okay.
if that ain't your thing, whatever you seek them out. Like, because you're on the fence, because you're saying this happened, but am I ready to let people know it happened? Right?
Yeah.
Because we feel that we're safer if nobody knows.
Yeah.
That's a
Mm-hmm.
lie from the pit of hell,
Okay.
because that's not that is just not true. You free yourself when you stop carrying the burden.
Mm. Come on.
You free yourself when you say, I don't know how to deal with this. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but here I am. Right?
Yeah.
So if you're on the fence, um seek wise counsel and ask yourself honestly, like, nobody knows, nobody is in your closet with you but you. Am I ready to heal from this? And if you are, then you need to be in the room, because I guarantee you somebody in that room is going to support you through the next steps of this journey.
Yep. 1,000%. Like 1,000%. I agree with you. Definitely, definitely always pray about it. But have those courageous conversations with yourself, because being in the room is the difference between saying stuck and in the
Mhm.
silo by yourself, or finding the community and taking the next steps to make it from victim to survivor, from survivor to
Mhm.
thriver. And there will be plenty of people in that room who are
Mhm.
all survivors who can tell you there is life after
Mhm.
sexual violence. You can go on, you can heal, you can have a thriving business. Precious and I both are of examples of that, living
Mhm.
witnesses of that, right? Like you can have the life that you desired prior to that ever happening to you. So I 100% agree with you. Like definitely pray about it, but get in the room. Stop going
Mhm.
through it by yourself, because the trick of the enemy is to get you and to keep you stuck in isolation.
Isolated. Mhm.
Like you can be doing much better and stronger with community when you got that other sister's phone number that you could text and be like, listen,
Mhm. And
I'm
here's
having a
the
moment.
thing, it's not we're not coming for you to tell all your business, because I know that's, the thing with a lot of people may feel like, I don't want everybody knowing my business. Nobody knows anything unless you tell them.
Yeah,
Because here, I know everybody in the room won't be have been sexually violated,
yeah,
right? So no, nobody would know that if I didn't tell them, because I don't look like what people expect you to look like.
yeah.
But that was a choice. That was a choice. So right now is your time to choose
Mhm.
healing. It's your time to choose freedom. It's your time to choose. Take your power back. Take your power back and say, you know what? I've lived with this long enough. I'm sick of it. And it's time for us to move forward, because you will be amazed at how much that instant is holding up in your life.
Listen, every area of your life, like every area of your life,
Mhm.
like, and I can't say it enough. Every area of your life, like, definitely make a choice. Choose this day. Like, create, like, take your power back. You can redefine that moment. One of the things I teach survivors all the time is redefining justice. What does it look like for
Mhm.
you? Right? Because I think we believe that the only path to justice is, let me call the cops, let me get a
Mhm.
rape kit. Nah, that's not the only path. What does it look like for you?
Yeah.
You define it. You determine what's the moment that you're gonna know, okay, I'm good. This is,
Mhm.
I'm behind, that's behind me now. It's a part of my journey, ain't the whole journey. You define that. And then sometimes it starts with just taking one step and getting in the room.
That's it. I
That's
know
it.
for me, again, I thought I was over it. And I didn't realize how it held me captive.
Mm-hmm.
To I think that is part of um being in a trauma filled
Yeah.
marriage for 20 years, right? I think that part of it, because I felt like at least I'm safe. He not doing nothing, to me to hurt me like that. And he knew about the situation. He never threw it up in my face. Always there to comfort when I had my moments. But even in that, I didn't realize how it had a grip on everything that I was doing, um,
Yeah.
until um, when I first started dealing with it at about 42. Not
Wow.
we that's over 30 years, almost 30 years.
Yeah.
Started dealing with it then, dealt with another piece at 45, dealt with another piece at 52, right? So know that it doesn't go away,
Mm-hmm.
but you can live in spite of.
Yeah.
You can live in spite of. So,
Yeah, 1,000%. I always tell people that trauma is like the ringing of a bell. Like, the bell don't never stop ringing, but you can learn
mhm,
to live with the bell ringing, right? Like, it won't bother you as much when you hear it ringing because
mhm,
you've worked through it. And so, yeah, it's lifelong,
mhm.
lifelong. So before I let you go, sis, you gotta tell the people, how can they connect with you? How can they support you and all the incredible stuff you are doing?
Oh, well, currently I am on TikTok, and you can go to my link tree. That's the easiest way to find me, is link tree. The My handle is Harmony Billing, Harmony with an I. And it there on the link tree, it shares all my books, all the things that I offer there. um I do dibble and dabble on Facebook a little bit here, but you know how that is. So if you want to see anything from me, YouTube or TikTok is going to be the spot. um I really am, and that's why I moved into supporting mental health workers,
Yeah.
because of my experience, of this experience. And I know how traumatizing it can be, right? but they got to get paid and the people got to be seen. So I understand both ends.
Yeah,
And just allowing God to use me in that way, right? So that even if a person doesn't have insurance, being able to figure out a way for them to still be seen so that they can get the help that they need. All of it's full circle for me.
yeah,
Um and the saying, God use everything, right? I'm a living
everything.
witness. He uses everything. That's this situation, this sexual violence that you've been a part of. He gonna use that too, but he not gonna do it unless you allow him. So you got to
Yeah.
be open. So those of you that are on the fence, get off the fence, buy the ticket. If you already gonna be in the room, come open and ready to heal.
Listen, y'all heard it from the MC. Thank you so much, sis, for coming through.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Y'all get y'all tickets, the description, check out the description. All the links will be there. And I will see y'all in another episode.
All right, bye.